members of the committee. So I'm just here to throw out a few extra tidbits. My background is as I'm a degreed engineer from ASU in manufacturing processes. So this is fixing broken processes is what I've been doing for the using the scientific method in the aerospace industry for decades. And the last thing I told my employer when I was working over at Boeing was that I can't do another project for you because I have to go back to Arizona, because no matter how much money I throw at the thing, it just gets worse. And so basically I've been applying my skill set in conjunction with other people that are pretty much trying to accomplish the same thing. And so one of the things I wish to throw out there is when you take the source documents apart and you look at them, you'll find out that due process is your best opportunity. And due process basically means you're being treated fairly. So if you have people that are just quote-unquote disgruntled litigants, due process is your best opportunity to alleviate that. And some of the rights that we have in here are seem to be foreign to a lot of people that I come across, attorneys and just members of the public. For instance, I would suggest that we do a Miranda disclosure at the beginning of every proceeding, where you simply say these are all the rights that you have, and just a piece of paper with listing those things. I went through the report on the study on the Dwight Jones case, and also personally pulled down all the documentation from the 4 police report numbers from the city of Scottsdale. So I'm pretty familiar with that case. There's nowhere in here do I see anything or have it discussed in this room, but I think it's key because we touched on it, is the term legal abuse syndrome. And legal abuse syndrome is pretty much synonymous with PTSD. And that goes to kind of what Lori's talking about, where she's talking about she said an ADA advocate, and that's Title II, am I correct in that? Okay, because that's already federal law that requires the courts to accommodate people, and PTSD is one of the items that are in the ADA that have to be accommodated for. So we're kind of thinking that that's not some low-hanging fruit, that the court could put something in the rules to provide for somebody to go up and sit next to the client, not necessarily function as an attorney, but just there to just keep them from just falling to pieces. Divorce is a contract renegotiation. The Dwight Jones case, the best estimates we have is that $3 million were spent on that case. So if you're going to do a renegotiation, a contract renegotiation, it's not much more complicated than buying a home. How much is that really worth, and at what point does the thing become fraud? And so as a better example, I would point to a case called from Scott Hall. And we pulled all the documentation on that case. And oh, okay. So anyways, we have things going on in the legislature already dealing with interest rates and child support arrearages. So if anybody wants to be part of any of that kind of activities, then we would welcome collaboration with the group on those issues.